This is an epilogue of the mystery of the death of John Cabot. Ted Mussano is going to give us his analysis of not the facts, but his interpretation of what probabilities of what happened in terms of the situation. We don't believe that John Cabot returned to England and collected a pension and just sailed out to the sunset without doing anything. He was not that type of person. He was a man of action. He was not a man to just rest on his laurels. So therefore, Ted will go into what he believes is the scenario, the probability of what happened. Ted, could you give us your insight?
Okay. Well, this is an epilogue to the Historical Insights video on the explorer John Cabot. Now, I should say at the outset, this is important, where I gleaned this information from the facts and my analysis of the facts. We have here certain documents, books, I'm going to give credit. We have here Wikipedia, article on John Cabot. I'm holding in front of me a book that's called The Voyage of the Matthew, John Cabot in the Discovery of North America, as seen on public television 1997 for the 500th anniversary of the discovery, by an author named Peter Furstbrook, with a foreword by His Royal Highness Prince Philip. It's based on the BBC documentary which showed the building of the ship and the voyage. Very good, and it has an excellent chronology. Also, I have a book in my hand that was published, the most recent information, historical documentation analysis, called Toward the Setting Sun, subtitled Columbus, Cabot, Vespucci, and the Race for America. It's by a British journalist named David Boyle. It's a very, very excellent book, the most recent historical information, and very well written. And lastly, I'd just like to give credit to a book I have here called Cabot's Discovery of North America by G.E. Ware, W-E-A-R-E. It was done for the 500th anniversary of John Cabot's Discovery of North America in 1897. The book was published, and it was republished recently by the Scholar's Bookshelf. There's a lot of good information in here too, and more recent information in the other sources. Well, the mystery of John Cabot that we've been talking about is a mystery because there's no hard evidence, no real smoking gun as to what happened to him. What I'm going to say is my analysis based on the information I have available from these sources. There's factual information and interpretations thereof. So, what happened to John Cabot? All we really know that on the third voyage, he left Bristol about May of 1498 under royal letters of patent from King Henry VII with either 4 or 5 ships and between 200 to 300 men. None of the ships was ever seen or heard from again. One went back for repairs, and we don't know what happened if it went out. So what happened to this expedition and John Cabot? His 3 sons stayed back. Well, let me say what we do know. The royal pension for John Cabot, £20 a year, was paid to his wife and after probable widow, Matea, until 1499, and it stopped. Because, why did it stop? We don't know. Perhaps they knew, the royal treasury, that he was dead. No documentation. What we do know is this. At that time, in the 1490s, middle to late 1490s, there was a rivalry for the New World, for exploration, discovery, mercantile routes, trade routes, gold, what have you, between the maritime nations of Western Europe. The nations are Spain, Portugal, France, and England. Now, Spain and Portugal had gotten a jump on England, and France for that matter. Columbus himself and his brother Bartholomew, as well as Cabot, had been to England. Bartholomew went to England.